We're going to see how it's going to play out here. Let's get into picks and bans here and see if they're going to switch up sides. Last time, I believe it was Barrage first pick, and it's going to be Barrage first pick again. I have to imagine they're going to still look for the same strategy, and RvL going to have to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what Barrage did. RvL definitely have to adjust. Take a look at that Zhang pick. I really, part of me...
I think it was just the Nim Zhang. I don't think it was the Zhang. I don't think it was the Nim. I think it was the Nim Zhang.
I agree. The game wasn't lost at 50 seconds, but that initial death in the mid lane, snowballing into the counter jungle invade, into the double mid harpies for 2 subsequent rounds, the gank on the left side, all of that. Nemjong.
Just don't have enough pressure. That's just the problem,
yeah,
right?
Zero.
It's like you can draft a Nemesis, you can draft a Zhang Kui, but when you draft them together, they kind of get bullied. And we're going to see a switch up in the bans here. It's actually Raijin taken away, which means Guan Yu is left open and no time wasted.
Just see you later. Got to get the man on the horse. So as an aside, part of me really wanted Zhang to win. My doctor is Dr. Zhang. I really wanted to cheer for Dr. Zhang.
Looking to counter this Guan Yu. No, okay.
Because clearly I'm a little bit sick right now.
I mean, that sounds like destiny.
That's what I'm saying. Clearly I'm a little bit sick. So maybe there's some sort of karma. If Zhang in-game wins, Dr. Zhang out-game wins, right? That's what I'm hoping for. But Atonement Zenborne, gets his Sobek. I'm a big fan of Sobek, LOL, ha ha ha. But Zenborne on the Sobek, he's absolutely fantastic. Hyper aggressive, combined with the Ho Yi. This is a scary lane if you're going up against RvL.
And I'm a little bit surprised that the Ho Yi's locked in. Obviously, they kind of want to figure out what Barrage is going in that mid and jungle area. But I mean, Barrage could just straight up look for a Nemesis pick in this situation, which is such a strong counter to Sobek, and actually plays pretty well against Ho Yi too.
Or a Wheelish. A Wheelish will also disrupt if RvL want to go Sobek, a Wheelish, right? And Ho Yi is the most vulnerable target for the Wheelish grab, but instead we'll see the Odin Zeus.
So Lock the Croc is going to be activated. Also the Guan Yu there. So not a lot of direct peel for the Zeus. Guan Yu probably going to be support, so I'd like to see Barrage pick up some stuns later. RvL here looking to answer back. They have a couple options. They could look for their mid laner, but I feel like they have to at this point, right? Raijin Silla's already banned out, and you can guarantee Barrage are going to ban 2 more mages if they don't.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not on the same boat. I'm not sure if Guan Yu is definitely going to go. We've seen Watson play Guan Yu in the solo lane.
Odin jungle?
Honestly, I expect Odin jungle on proxy.
Whoa, Neith mid. Okay.
All right. I love it. I've always been a fan of Neith mid.
We've seen the double hunter comps.
Do very well.
Are they looking for a Cabrakan, though? I would imagine Barrage are going to ban out Cabrakan here, just so RvL can't, flex that. Actually, it could just be Sobek solo. We didn't even think about that, and they could go Bacchus.
Oh, that's very true. I
bet you if Cabrakan's banned out, it's Sobek solo.
Wow. I didn't even think about that, just because, Zenborne is Sobek. I wonder if we see Bacchus solo like Zelia did.
We're not going to see it. Yeah, Barrage are going to ban out Cabrakan here. And honestly, I don't know if they're thinking about this, because Sobek solo has come back a little bit. I think we saw someone play it last week, and it's really just because Vanguard makes it so you still don't have better lane clear, but you just survive. You just it's going to be harder to die and get poked out by these physicals, and it's really just good against the minions more than anything.
Mark of the Vanguard. Welcome back to Solo Lane Guardians. Mark of the Vanguardians solo, more like it.
I'm telling you, man, this needs to be a Sobek solo. That'd be dirty. Just triple frontline with just a mage solo, or it's Guardian solo, so you have magical damage. Ooh.
Very, very intelligent and wheelish band right there coming out from RvL. They don't want to play it, and it's definitely Neith and Ho Yi are 2 of the easiest gods to grab with that ultimate. So definitely not something that RvL want to deal with. Is that a Wheelish? So the last band coming out from Barrage is going to be the Fenrir. So they would just say, hey, we'll take a look at the jungle. RvL.
I like that.
Yep, Rapio.
Yeah, Fenrir just kind of that, very similar to Thor.
Look at you.
Where it's, I know what I'm talking about every once in a while. Where Thor is just can build very tanky. Same with Fenrir, where you just have this jungle who, if you have double ADC, you don't need him to be fit, do a ton of damage, right? He'll go maybe the Jotun's first pick, but then it's just full protections, just sets up for the double hunter.
So on Barrage, I definitely expect Odin to be in the jungle. That's a very proxy god. The Athena solo, the Athena support rather, with Guan Yu over in the short lane. On Team RvL, like I said, So this is what's fun. Well, this is what's fun about having a player well known for a character. That Sobek selection, you're like, oh wow, clearly it's gonna be Zenborne. But then they can play it a little bit, surprise you, and they pick the Bacchus. So now Sobek might go someplace else. So is this a jungle Bacchus or a jungle Amaterasu?
Jungle Sobek, man. I actually don't know. This
You
is
think it's
gonna be
Jungle Beck?
So
You think it's Jungle Beck?
So the best part about Rival's composition with their double guardians that their double guardians are also the guardians that have anti-heal. 50% on Sobek, and then 25% on Bacchus, which is going to help immensely against the Guan Yu. It's just going to like stack up, and those are really easy abilities to hit.
So we've got the jungle Amy, the solo Sobek, and then the support Bacchus.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. The question is how much clear is this Amaterasu going to have? Like, and you could see the Wrath was picked up by the Sobek, I think, just to compensate.
Yep.
So he doesn't have teleport, which is not good for him, but he has to have this Wrath so he can secure not only his own buff, but make sure their clear isn't like dirt, like trash level. Because that's what it is with Sobek Amaterasu level 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Even in the solo lane, we talk about Amaterasu not clearing till level 8. So Amy's going to have some problems. I'm not even kidding. I legitimately thought there was a chance that we would see Jungle Bacchus. Bacchus.
The Shing?
Yeah, I mean, the Bacchus jungle clear is not something that you write stories about, but when you compare it to the Amaterasu, I don't know. I'm very curious about how Rapio plays this character in the jungle.
No invade coming out. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see Barrage look to invade that. I mean, they definitely have a really strong 2v2.
Yep.
But just playing it safe, and you can see they're actually going to be able to clear out their blue buff a little bit slow. They started at those mid Harpies.
Rapio not even going to go dance with the solo lane, just go directly towards mid Harpies. Sees that they're not there. He's a little upset. He's going to go join his mid laner.
See, it's really hard, though, controlling those mid Harpies against the Zeus as well, the chain bounce.
Yep.
We'll see how they do, though. It looks like it is going to go over to Rival. Zeus just going to be healing up. Left-hand side, though, pressure coming out from Barrage's duo lane. That Apollo with the golden bow, just doing a little bit better early.
Yeah, so you've got also the guys from Barrage, they were able to pick up the fire elementals, which that is, it winds up being all even, but those fire elementals,
They got that 90 gold lead. Yep. They start getting crazy, right? With their kind of low cooldown, you kind of, losing one set's not the worst, but then you lose the timer, and I mean that 90 gold can turn into another 90 gold, and then another, and pretty
it's such
soon
an
it's 500 gold
timer
lead.
too. What is it, 150?
Yeah, I think.
A minute and 50 seconds. It's such a strange timer as well. And yeah, just 90 turns into 180, turns into 270. I can math. Look at me go.
You're the best. Left-hand side, still pressure from Barrage. They seem to have the winning 2v2.
Nah,
What are you looking for?
the best is on Eager.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It has been a while. I'll give that one to you.
We
I haven't
have
used it. I know Totally doesn't use it.
We have a quote. We have a quota basically. We have a quota that we have to reach.
Anytime someone says the best, they gotta get that joke in at least once a week.
If you guys could see my face too while I was delivering it, I was like, I don't want to say this.
I didn't even notice I had said that. Knock up on his Zenborne. He's going to get taunted here. He does have Shell, doesn't want to burn it. And just everything that Barrage can do. They're just trying to force out that Shell, trying to force out as many potions. So Bacchus has to go back early.
Once Bacchus leaves, there's a lot of pressure that Barrage can go ahead and push onto them, especially with this Jungle Odin. Jungle Odin is very exciting because these first 10 minutes you just got to be so careful.
So it's a little bit interesting, though, because Rival did put that Amaterasu into the jungle to match the Odin. So, I mean, another god that's going to be trapped inside the ring can't get out with the Zeus ult on top as well.
Mm-hmm. Rapio going to make the rotation over here to the left-hand side. Doesn't have ultimate available.
They have no idea.
Him and Atonement.
No idea.
There's a 4-on-2, and they're going to make a sandwich, and it's going to be bad.
Oh, there's the knock-up, and the stun. The double tap actually hits. Purification popped, but he's not going to be able to get away. Stun. Rapio finds first blood. Very clean gank from Rival.
Clean first blood. If my job is to criticize, I ask why they couldn't get 2 instead of just 1. But it not necessarily is. I think they might have been able to find the Athena, but again, I'm always a fan of getting what you can absolutely. Go for the 100s.
Yeah, you try to split that damage. Maybe it's not enough secure either.
Yeah.
Maybe Apollo hits 5 off a creep at the last second.
Exactly.
Ults out.
Too many what-ifs. So take the first blood. Make sure it's on the Hunter specifically. and then see what you can do. And again, Rapio gets credit for that. Not the kill itself, but gets credit for who he did actually.
He did get the kill.
Which is important because we're just trying
Block
to...
the croc here, on to Gnome here. Gonna be stunned out. There's the Odin bird bomb as well. Trying to get to his tower. Good juke, but the cage is still up, and he should fall eventually. Watson has no mana. The potions are popped, and actually here's the rotation. Neith ult is gonna be good, and it looks like Proxy can't secure the kill. Now Watson being turned on. I don't think Zenborne has the damage. Belly flop not gonna be up in time, and Watson walks out, but a really good save coming out from RvL.
Yeah, very well played coming out from the Neith and just everything
Bacchus
coming
too,
together.
yeah.
Neith and Bacchus at the same time, understanding that Bacchus is going to go on one target, Neith needs to go on the other. Very, very well executed. Love it.
And RvL looking much cleaner, I'd say, in this game. I really do like their composition. This is such a very like a unique composition. Barrage though, with that pressure over to the right-hand side, look at this RvL. They put 3 members in the soul lane, and they have no idea this is going on.
Nope.
Zeus ult's dropped.
See you later. Easy 4-minute Gold Fury going the way of Barrage. They're now going to lead the game by about 600 gold. Very quickly popping up on top.
And you can see those early Gold Furies not worth as much. Gold Fury does scale, but still just Gold's lead in their favor now thanks to that. So nice answer back from Barrage. Really intelligent play. So I love this because both teams are playing so good right now. Yep. A single mistake from Barrage where their dual lane's pushed up, the call isn't made, or they don't know that the rotation's coming, their dual lane dies. And then RvL also just protecting their soul laner, but because they put so much pressure over there, Barrage like, we got the Gold Fury, man. We got the Gold Fury.
It's all about that question and answer, man. It's all about the call and response.
Do it.
Oh, and he did it.
He's got ult, and the med's actually off the mark. Hoyi ult actually put into tower so they can fully body this, and the Neith ult gonna find the stun. I don't know if it's gonna be enough damage, and just short.
Oh,
Blue stone?
Blue stone.
Oh, just get outplayed.
Blue stone.
Wow.
Damn. That's a blue Christmas. Watch out.
Blue Christmas? Is this a reference? I don't know it.
It's an old Elvis reference. Actually.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. And it's just, bad news in a spot that looked so good. He got around the corner, just barely alive.
I thought he was. I was like, oh man. So I was like, I don't think that's gonna be enough damage. It'll be really close. Yep. And it wasn't. But then it was.
And I loved how our camera person goes to show us how much HP Apollo has. It's like, oh look, he's got one. No, he doesn't. See ya.
Oh man. Right hand side though, Gnome down a level. Just gonna fling Watson under tower. Both are gonna be fine. And I mean, Sobek is gonna get pressured out in this lane. Sobek doesn't really survive. That's why he's gone into the Wrath. Also doesn't have the TP to get back in. But in all honesty, only down 300 to 400, 6 minutes in. I guess that's pretty significant.
That's what you want to do as a Sobek. And then Sobek is this character that is less concerned about, it's not like you have a nemesis in the solo lane. He's less concerned about the actual gold and buying the items and more just getting the levels and getting the points in his abilities because he's a Guardian.
He's just like the base damage so high. You can see Proxy trying to set up another kill onto him, but a ward well placed. You can see the inflatable arm man just flapping around in the wind there, giving Gnome a good idea of what Proxy's looking to do.
I want one of those on our joust set. The giant inflatable arm man.
Dude, it's one of the best wards. You actually, competitively, it is. You want to know why? Because it's quiet.
Is it really?
So like when it's like placed and like yeah, it's just quieter.
I know there's a lot of loud ones.
Not by much. It's like really like.
Of course.
Not by, but still. It's like when you couldn't play the Pirate Sobek skin because it had that smoke trail.
Oh yeah, I mean, and there was a Ymir skin where the trail just followed you all throughout the map, so you knew exactly where everybody was. Barrage knows exactly where the mid-harpies are. This is the second set in a row that they've got on the left-hand side, but Team RvL looked like they wanted to fight for a moment, decided against it.
Still about an 800 gold lead for Barrage, doing good, despite not having a kill on the board. They've been superior in that objective control, sneaking that early Gold Fury. And some items starting to be completed. We actually have the Guan Yu support electing to go in, or solo, excuse me, going into the Urchin. That's a little bit surprising in that solo lane. Don't see that out too often.
I like I've always been a fan of early Urchin starts. Just the earlier you get that Urchin online is the better it is, obviously, because of the stacking situation. But in this scenario, Kevin, Guan Yu's not afraid of dying to a Sobek.
Left-hand side, though, Jeron getting ganked once again. Neith ult, I believe, was used. It's off cooldown here, but the Neith able to mitigate enough damage to keep the Apollo alive.
So no harm, no foul. And yeah, you can see Guan Yu just invading into the
what he
enemy
gotta
blue
do.
buff. He's the reason we're seeing the Urchins because there's no reason to build magical defense against the Sobek. Guan's not afraid of dying to the Sobek. That doesn't mean that it's easy to lane here. Watson's going to have some trouble as Gnomes can do whatever he
I
can.
love what Watson's doing too, because you actually see him not even focusing on trying to like counter the buff. He knows the Sobek doesn't have enough damage to burst the buff in his cooldown rotation. Even with the Wrath, so he's like, I'm just going to poke the Sobek because he gets a Curate. And then he doesn't have blue. He wastes mana trying to go on him. Look at that. Gnome, still no mana. And Proxy just stuck. Oh, no. Did he snipe that? Oh, he sniped it. Oh, Rapio's a god.
Rapio. Oh my goodness, beautiful play, Rapio. Gnome's going to go ahead and pick up the blue buff, which, in all honesty, Sobek has the ultimate. Like, the blue buff isn't even, it's just about the pride.
Nah, Rapio's the man right now. Gnome is buying him dinner tonight. If they win, he's like, thank you for the blue buff. Speed buff still off cooldown there. You can see Proxy, I believe, has his own. Not sure if he invaded the last one. And this Apollo and Hou-Yi, I mean, they've been going at it back and forth nonstop. Hou-Yi does win this early on.
Hou-Yi wins. I mean, Hou-Yi definitely, you know, it's tough.
I think it's just the ult for ult, right? The Apollo ult's not super useful in the 1v1s.
These guys are actually really interesting because Hou-Yi and Apollo are two of the better gods when it comes to boxing. Apollo because of audacity, and Hou-Yi obviously because mark of the nonsense.
Mark of the Golden Crow.
Mark of the Golden nonsense. It's
Mark of the give me some protection or give me some
penetration. Let me see where you are.
Extra damage. You know, it's all good. Gold Fury being started up by Barrage once again, and I think we saw some members of Rivals, the team that they're facing.
Yes.
Starting to rotate in. I think the Neith's going to go. And I think the Zeus ult was dropped as well. Hou-Yi Suns are there. And actually, it's going to be very low from the Apollo. He's forced to get out, but Barrage does secure the Gold Fury. However, Rival might be able to find some kills on the back end. Under tower, though, Watson's made the rotation. Headhunter, his head has been hunted himself. But Guan Yu probably going to die very deep by himself.
And there's the third hit out of the ultimate for the stun. And done. Rapio gets the third kill for his team, the second for himself. And
Watson, what are you doing there, man? Finds the kill, though. So he does trade out successfully. And now Rival trying to group up, trying to get this tier 1 tower in the middle lane. No one to defend outside of the Athena. But the rotation is there. Apollo and Zeus coming in. The tower, it's getting poked out, and Rival should get this.
Yeah, that tower is going to go down. And that time, like we said, the team that loses Gold Fury generally winds up taking the tier 1 tower because of the lack of abilities available on the other side. That time, Barrage didn't have the Pocket Hun Bats ultimate. So Team Rival successfully execute that mid lane tower. And that's the key, is they noted that, all right, Barrage, they used a Zeus ultimate. They used everything that's scary. And then Watson died, like, in our back left jungle. We can actually take this one.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty free. And this Zeus, still level 11. So even though ahead in gold by about 1,000, a little bit more. Actually, that's surprising that Barrage, I mean, they secured a second Gold Fury. I guess they did lose the tower there, but only about a 1K gold lead.
Yeah, not too much. Not too much. Just a little bit of back and forth here. You know, 500 on that mid tower, as you said. Definitely something that's going to mitigate some of the hurt from the Gold Fury.
Oh, man, look at this, too. I mean, Gnome's still down about 600 gold despite, yeah, that's just the 2 Gold Furies. And I think that's just because Proxy has leached so much off this solo lane that, in all honesty, Watson should probably be further ahead. I mean, he's got like 400 gold from those Gold Fury. So he's only got like a 200 direct lead after all those invades.
Yeah, Proxy's definitely using what he can from this solo lane.
Give me the XP, mate. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's a big part of it.
Watson hitting level 14, though. Highest level in the game right now is Rapio. Using his ult defensively. Dazzling offense.
Forced into using it, honestly. I didn't really think things were that dire, but he didn't have the information on the top side of the jungle, so he couldn't tell who was coming. And with the aggressive stance that his opponent was making, I was pretty much just a just-in-case ultimate, I think.
Breastplate's coming out right now for Barrage, though. They've got one on the Zeus, so going a pretty tanky route. And now Watson electing to go in for that CDR. He's got his Urchin. He's starting to stack it up. Got one for now off his kill. And maybe looking for a second one. Proxy, oh, going to lock the Croc perfectly. And now here's the 3-member group up. Actually, 4 members as Zeus appears as well. I thought maybe Gnome could get out of it. But the second that Lightning Sword came out, there was no hope for him. And Barrage, they already took Gold Fury, which means there's no worry about that being picked up over Von Rival.
Yeah, that's why we see the entire team commit over there to the right side because of the fact that the Gold Fury is already down. Now Hunter v Hunter. Ooh, not a good look for Jeron.
No, I mean, he can't really fight into this one. He's got his item lead, though. He does have the Soul Leader, and that's just because of the extra 600 gold he's got from those Gold Furies. Tower on the right-hand side. Watson should be able to pick this one up. He's got 3 archers. Rapio's rotating in. I think Watson's going to back off, though. Trying to just try and play it safe. Doesn't need to risk getting that tower just yet. And Sobek can't TP in as he went Wrath, and he's actually got Curse for the second relic. So,
ooh.
Counter heal. Also can chase down that Zeus.
I kind of expected the level 12 teleport like we see out of a lot of players, but not going to be the case.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I guess maybe actually it might be useful against this Apollo.
Yeah. It depends on the team composition and the team strategy, right? Like, I think Divios uses it very well. He'll pick up a Wrath or something at level 1 and then opt for the late game teleport, and it allows him to just be all over the map. Basically like what we see out of junglers when they play Door with teleport. Yes. It's about the mentality. So Gnome here looking to really be Team RvL, looking more for the group up already than split push shenanigans and surprise playing with timers.
You can see Rapio started to rotate after Gnome flung the Guan Yu into tower, but I mean, it's a Guan Yu. He's not going to die anytime soon. He's got his breastplate finished as well, so Watson in a really good spot. However, Jeron's not. He is going to get knocked up. Neith ult, Toyi ult, but actually Sanctuary negates almost all of that damage, and there's a little bit of a heal as well, and now it's counter engage. Watson has TP'd in. Headhunter, he's got no way to get out. He's going to be stunned, but his jump is back up in time.
Just the ring gets jumped over. That's problematic. Proxy has to make sure that when he drops the ring, the player has already used their jump. So that is a kill dropped easily. And with no ring, no Guan ultimate, this is going to be a hard push. Elexum and Barrage recognize that, so instead they'll fall back, focus on the Gold Fury. There is a Lightning Storm available, so Zeus ultimate should allow Barrage to pick up this Gold Fury, but RvL's not going to give it up for free.
And a triple ult from RvL, so they don't really have the strongest team fight. Gnome's going to come in, but the Gold Fury's been reset. There's Lightning Storm, and it's actually going to split this team fight. Sobek doing a fair amount of damage, but it's just not enough to secure any kills. There's the Curse. Oh, going to jump out, and Elexum actually flung back into the team. This could be trouble for him. He's surrounded by 2 hunters. One more hit, but he gets the Guan heal, and the 2-man taunt as well.
Oh,
and Elexum going to
goodness.
find a turnaround kill, still kiting in between 3. Gnome is going to pick him up eventually. And Headhunter takes out all trying to peel, and now actually Barrage, they've got to get out of this one.
And there's a stun on the Headhunter. Jumping on top is going to be Proxy, finds the kill. Watson finds another, and now it's a 2-on-2, but both members very, very low. Guan dashes through, Watson dashes the heal, and that's Guan Yu.
I mean, the heals are just going to be too much. Proxy trying to chase onto Gnome here. I don't think he's going to be able to chase him down eventually. Watson's still alive. Nice juke there. And Gnome's going to be fine. Proxy doesn't have enough manage to bird bomb him. And even then, it's probably... Oh, but he dashes forward. Oh, why did he dash forward? And now he's getting shredded. And Gnome, a little bit of a misplay there. But great body blocks from Rapio. And it's a 3-for-3.
Yeah.
So no Gold Fury.
So Barrage, that's interesting. Barrage played that fight, I think, almost flawlessly. They played very, very well. I loved what I saw out of Elexum and the Guan, right? He had 1 HP, distanced himself, threw out the chain lightning. Guan came and healed, but RvL... So Barrage are pushing their buttons very well. RvL outsmarts Barrage. The double flank coming all the way around mid-Harpies to come out on the bottom side. That's the only reason RvL evens that up and goes 3-3. I
mean, look at the items as well. I mean, we talked about this Guan Yu, how he's going to be so useful in these extended engagements, but in kind of that same regard, 50% healing reduction on Sobek, 25 on Bacchus, and a Pestilence to boot. So it's not that easy for RvL or for Barrage to kind of get rolling. However, it looks like Rapio going very aggressive. Finds a 2-man stun, but Proxy's around the corner to lock him in the cage, and he can't get out. Lightning Storm on top. Elexum finds 1. Watson going to the back line. Oh, and the Bird Bomb helps secure Atonement. And quickly, Barrage find 2 kills off of an engagement that RvL starts.
Barrage and Proxy have been looking very strong this time around. 2-0-4 on the jungle Odin. And this Gold Fury should go down as well. Barrage pick up their 3rd Gold Fury of the contest.
Zenborne. Gonna get the Intoxicate off, jumps away. Proxy's waiting for him, just trying to body block right now with the help of the sprint. And it's gonna be Watson there in the front as well. Elexum in all around the corner, and Proxy's gotta back off. There's too many people there. There's a tier 1 tower as well, and it looks like Barrage are going to be able to finish this off.
Yeah, you can see Apollo was sitting there the entire time while the rest of the team was out zoning and getting into trouble. Proxy from the backside. Elexum going to clean up on Gnome. Proxy started that one as well. Tower's going to fall down. Guan's going to heal up, and everybody's going to push forward.
A little bit of a problem, though. RvL, all 3 members died at the same time, so they're respawning at the same time. This tower needs to go down now. Still a man advantage for Barrage, and a 2-man taunt. Proxy jumps forward. Atonement's already down, and he's just going to be zoning in the backline as Rapio getting destroyed. Watson on his horse, looking for the chase down, looking for the stun, but he's going to disengage. Rapio barely making it down into his Phoenix.
I'm loving what I see out of Proxy specifically here on the Odin. He's on this Odin, and he's playing it like an Odin, not a jungle Odin. He's just realizing that, okay, at this point in the game, I'm utility. Bird Bomb hurts minute 0 to minute like 12, 13. Now I have to be the solo lane. He's pushing up. He's zoning out. The ring is coming down to protect objectives and his team. And right there, we saw the push out of the tier 2, and then even further onto the Phoenix.
And this is an 18-minute Phoenix, potentially. 3-man knockup by Zenborne, but not enough follow-up. Rapio's come out of his spawn, and Proxy just going to cage in Zenborne. No jump available to him, but it looks like RvL want a full engage on this. They're trying to chase deep. Proxy very low, all flung back into the squad of RvL, going to be surrounded by 4, and there's the Lightning Storm just to help disengage, and it's going to be successful. Gnome's going to go into his ult. This should secure Awe, but he could get turned on here. Nope, Gnome's going to make it out alive, but he will fall.
Follow up as Elexum disappears in the jungle. Rapio can catch him. That's an Amaterasu. He can definitely catch the Zeus.
Doesn't want to, though.
Doesn't look like that's going to be the choice. It looks like it will be.
Elexum, oh, man, that choice on where you're going. There's the 1, 2, there's the 3rd hit, but a nice purification, and Proxy's made a rotation, but 2 members lined up, and Proxy's actually flung back in. He does have his jump, and he's got Watson as well. He's going to be looking for the stun, and it looks like Barrage are trying to turn this, but they need to be careful as Bacchus has made the rotation, and they recognize that they don't want to chase too deep. They've got a bunch of gold in hand. Why not spend it?
Yeah, good respect for the Fury line right there. That line that cuts the map in half. Doesn't want to go too far past that. Watson gets on the horse and tries to see if he can separate somebody before they walk into enemy territory. Not going to be in the cards, so Barrage pull back. I mean, they're up 9,000 or 9,000 gold right now. There's no reason to make those risky plays.
So we got some interesting items now, as a bunch of people just spent stuff. So obviously the Soul Reaver coming out from the Zeus. However, Nemean onto Guan. We have a Witchblade being built by the Athena, and then a Spectral Armor onto the Sobek.
It all makes sense. Spectral Armor on the Sobek. Lock the Croc is not going to be as devastating anymore with the Spectral online. You've got the Wrath that you can burn pretty much willy-nilly, and that'll help you get out of the ring. The Nemean Lion, well, it's 2 hunters and an Amaterasu. Yes, I'm buying a Nemean as well. Don't be surprised if you see a Mid-Guardian right next to it.
And Proxy on the front line here. He is very tanky, playing this kind of solo lane zoning Odin. Tier 1's fallen, Tier 2 going to fall as well. No Fire Giant online just yet for Barrage. They haven't looked at it. Instead, it's going to be RvL looking to counter push.
I've seen this one before.
Oh,
2 players push down the left side while the entire team destroys the enemy base and takes the Titan. I've seen this one like an hour ago.
And it was Barrage doing the exact same thing. RvL here, they're going to take out the Tier 2, but this time they're going to elect to back, so they know they can't go too deep. Proxy, though, doesn't care about going too deep, almost jumps into the fountain to chase out Headhunter, and the Phoenix has fallen. Now still a Tier 2 on the right-hand side, left up. 2 members down for RvL, though. This is going to be hard defense.
prOxyQQ, the absolute fearless German here, just doing everything he can to help his team win this time around. I'm loving it, man. I don't think we've seen Proxy play this well in the SCL just yet. This is his real standout game. I'm happy to be able to catch it. This is fun.
And now the 3rd Phoenix being looked at here. Gnome has respawned. Phoenix, it's at 50%, and it's got to be now if RvL are going to pull the trigger. And here they go. Rapio finds 2 members in the ultimate, and he's only going to stun actually no one. But there's the knockup. Lightning Storm on top to look to counter, and Zenborne getting very low in the front line. He's got to retreat, but he's getting chased down by Watson in the meantime, and the heals are real. Now it's just going to be the Phoenix. RvL finally pulled the trigger, but it's not enough to find a single kill.
And there's going to be the Firebird falling down. All 3 Phoenixes are down for the count. Barrage have opened the doors to Team RvL's base. Not going to take the walk just yet, Everybody's going to back.
Wow, Elexum actually, in the most dangerous back I've ever seen, has baited Proxy, but he's got his ultimate online. Gnome going to Spectral straight through it, and here's the knockup with the rotation from Awe is good to help peel. Now Awe in a little bit of trouble, same with Watson. There's the Ho-Yi ult going to slow too, and he's actually stunned inside of it from the Neith ult as well, flung back in. And Awe is going to die.
Friends saving friends, saving friends.
He's going to
saving
I'm
friends.
blaming Elexum there.
Elexum
had the worst back I've ever seen in the history. He baits Proxy, and then Awe's got to help protect Proxy. And then Awe gets flung back as Watson is there as well. Fire Giant now started up by RvL. They know they're so far behind, they have to make moves like this. And Zenborne and Gnome, though, they've been poked out. And Watson trying to find a carry in the back line. In the middle of two, though, this is not a clean kill.
Nah, this is a great play for RvL until JeRon shows up. So beautiful is the way he takes out the Sobek, and Team RvL going to retreat one more time. Like you said, that's the play that RvL has to go for. They get a kill, they push a couple of players out. You have to go for the Fire Giant. Unfortunately, the Apollo with the global rotation able to come right on in, and let's say Apollo doesn't use the global, and everybody has to walk like with their feet.
Yes.
They actually get there. Athena's going to spawn in 5 seconds. She's up now. She would have been able to ult on in. That was the play that RvL had to make. It didn't work out, and that sucks. But we saw this in game number 1 as well, Kevin, where RvL aren't afraid to make those like really hard to make calls.
And Barrage right now, 13K in the lead. They got a Fire Giant around their waist, and look at that healing from Guan Yu. 21,000 more healing than anyone's done damage in this game.
I mean, that
Zeus is doing a lot of damage, 20K.
I mean, you figure players have, what, an average of 1,900 to 2,000 HP? That's 10 lives he's saved.
And he's got the meditation plus the healing adds up. He's got max CDR. He has no magical protection, but he's not too worried because most of it's on those supports, right? Like that's the problem right now for RvL.
Exactly. With the solo Sobek, he does the damage again. There's a lot of
extended
damage.
poke.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna burst you, and Guan Yu's just gonna be able to heal up because he's not getting bursted by the mages. That Phoenix on the left-hand side has respawned, and Barrage are gonna be looking for it. Proxy's yelling at RvL to fight him.
Proxy's just screaming.
Oh, no.
You know what? That's in-game. Guarantee he's screaming at his computer
Pop the potion,
right now.
Proxy. You're fighting now. Pop your 450 pot. But RvL on their last defense right now. Lightning Storm is out, and Rapio to the backline, doing a fair amount of damage, but he can't get enough to secure the kill. And the Guan Yu going to be able to heal him up. Proxy jumps forward, finds two. Looking for the cage, but it's already been activated. The Phoenix falls. Middle Phoenix about to respawn in a second. So still all 5 members alive for RvL. 25 minutes in. I mean, this is not going to be easy, though. That Fire Giant still around Barrage. The taunt is good. Neith going to backflip right now. Proxy jumps forward, doing a fair amount of poke, but not enough to finish. And actually, he's flung back into the Titan. With the speed buff, though, should be able to kite around. However, a lot of attention being put onto him.
And it doesn't matter as JeRon is going to handle 3 players, chase prOxyQQ's Odin all the way around the mulberry bush, while JeRon and Elexum just rain havoc onto everybody else. 30K damage for the Zeus, and a prOxyQQ is certainly not a slouch either.
Zeus was at 20K damage before that fight. He puts up over 8,000 and that last engagement alone. But Barrage looking really good now, taking first in the league. 8-2, RvL following up with 7-3, and Excellence sitting there at 5-5. They're not super far off now that these teams are starting to trade a bit more.
You know, I think today just showed us something very important about Europe as we tie a bow on this and move to North America for our next set. I think that we've really seen, when Europe first started, I thought we had 2 tiers. We had Barrage and RvL and X and X, right?
Excellence and Excellence.
And
hate them both.
with today, I think that Barrage has sort of separated themselves away from RvL, and Excellence has sort of jumped up as well.
To be fair, though, I mean, Excellence took a game off of a Barrage that just 2-0'd RvL. I think a lot of it is coming down to these teams mechanically are very close. It's kind of about this strategy and picks and bans, and people are going to have to put a little bit more investment. A good game, though, across the board, I'd say, from Barrage here. I think we're going to be looking at JeRon on this Hunter, on this Neith.
Yeah, here he is, just wrecking it right here, able to do a lot of different things on this Neith. Right there, we just saw the pure damage coming out with the Spirit Arrow and some of the help, and here he's able to be crafty, sit in the back line, and just provide that Hunter consistent basic attack damage to allow the rest of his team to take players out.
He's really kind of the quiet star where he's always, you know, kind of topping the damage charts, just really fantastic positioning. We saw not once there getting in a spot where RvL could, you know, dive him. He took a little bit of poke from the hard initiation. And then on his Apollo as well, we saw this last set where he's just isolating out these low members, helping out a teammate who may not be able to secure a kill, and it's just guaranteeing them that they have that man advantage.
You know, it's interesting. I think we see a lot of hunter players that they all have their hunters that they're better at, but in general, it's, hey, you know, the Zapmans and the Barracudas of the world and the Real Zex, they're just going to go ahead and like murder people, right? With the basic attacks, it doesn't really matter. Whereas with Jeron, the characters that he chooses, the Neith, he's using that ultimate to get a straggler. The Apollo, he's using that ultimate to get back into the fight. I think he really utilizes the kits of the hunters very strongly.
Also, a star member here is the mid laner Elexum, playing very well across the day. Elexum, how you doing, man?
Hello?
Hey.
Okay, I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
Doing pretty solid. How's it feel after those 2 wins?
The wins against RvL feel really good because they were like really important because we get like first place now. So yeah, we're really excited that we won against them.
Talk to me a little bit about that second game because it was an interesting draft. What were you guys expecting out of RvL with that, you know, double hunter composition?
We actually didn't expect that they would go double hunter, but we saw their first picks already, and we had the Guan. And from scrimming them, we know they like to pick the Odin into the Guan. So we were like, we picked the Odin, and of course Zeus works really well with the Odin. So yeah, then we went for the Zeus, and then they went double hunter, and they barely had any magical damage, which was kind of an advantage for us.
I like the way you put that, Elexum. Now I don't know you very well, and neither do the fans at home. So why don't you give us a little bit of insight into how your team works? What do the comms sound like? Are you guys very aggressive? Do you guys have a lot of fun? How does Barrage sound in the middle of an SCL game?
It kind of depends on how the game is going, because if we're winning, we're obviously like really hyped, and then we're like really going for it. And then we're like shouting gold, 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 and Phoenix, 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 Phoenix. If we're losing, we're becoming a bit more quiet, which we shouldn't be. We know that, but it's just still our mindset because we're like new to this.
That makes sense. So who winds up being your main shot caller?
Well, Proxy is our main shot caller most of the time. We do make separate calls, of course, as well. Target calling is both Proxy and Watson. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about Proxy coming into your team. He's been around in Smite Competitive for a while. Is he, you know, teaching you guys individual roles, like maybe giving you advice? Is he kind of acting as a coach figure, or is he just like, I'm making the strategies in the game?
No, of course he has his intelligence, and we appreciate that, and we use that. Like mostly the drafting and stuff we use from him. Like we listen to him, but in game wise, like, we actually know ourselves well enough to play. It's not like he has to tell us,
That's awesome.
Do this, do that, work on this, work on that.
Okay, awesome, man. Thank you so much. Before we let you go, though, do you have any shout-outs to any fans at home, maybe?
I actually do have shout-outs, first of all, to the team, because I really think they're amazing guys, and they do mean a lot to me. And I want to do a shout-out to our girl, Stacy. She subbed in their games against XL, and he didn't have any jungle experience or competitive experience, and the fact that he stepped in for that because we didn't have Proxy was like really cool. And of course, shout out to the people that support us and watch our streams and stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elexum, the mid laner for Barrage. That's going to be it for the European SCL today, but we still have one more matchup to close out the day. We're heading over to North America, where Noble, who upset Soar last week, earlier this week, is now going to be taking on Eager, another top card in North America. We'll be back in just a few minutes with that matchup.